Good morning and welcome to the Peorian. I'm your host, Paul Gordon. The arrival of spring means many things to many people. For sports enthusiasts, it means golf or fishing, tennis, and of course, baseball. That's especially true in cities with professional baseball, be it major league or minor league. And so it's true of Peoria, home of the Peoria Chiefs, the Chicago Cubs Class A affiliate with the Midwest League. This year marks the 30th season for the Chiefs in its current format, that being since it was revived as the Peoria Suns in 1983. In that time, it has been affiliated with the California Angels, the Chicago Cubs, the St. Louis Cardinals, and now back to the Chicago Cubs again. Being affiliated with one of this area's favorite major league teams, either the Cubs or the Cardinals, helps keep the Chiefs popular, the games well attended, and beautiful O'Brien Field one of the city's bright spots. And when you think of some of the players that have passed through Peoria on their way to the big leagues, names like Greg Maddux, Rafael Palmeiro, Yadier Molina, and Albert Pujols, it's clear to see why the Chiefs remain popular in Peoria. Chiefs President Rocky Vonachen is my guest on the Peorian today, and we're going to talk about the upcoming season, which begins later this week, and other baseball matters after these messages. Welcome back to the Peorian. With me today is Rocky Vonachen, president of the Peoria Chiefs, who opened their 2012 season Thursday night, April 5th, in Beloit. And they have their home opener next Monday, April 9th, against Quad Cities. Rocky, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
At the time we recorded this show, the roster for the team had not been set yet, but we do know that Casey Kopitsky will be back for his third year as manager of the Chiefs, correct?
That is correct.
How important is that kind of continuity at this level of professional baseball?
You know, for us, it's very important to get to know the manager, know how he operates, know what he likes to do on a game day, not only in the clubhouse but on the field and that. So it's nice to have the same manager year after year, and we really haven't had that luxury in a long time. Ryan Sandberger was here for 2 years, which was very special. But other than that, it's usually been 1 year and out. And, you know, these guys want to move up as well. They're
Sure.
kind of like a player. They want to make it to the major leagues as a coach or as a manager, that type of thing. But to have Casey back is great for us, great person, and a great manager. He works well with the young kids, and that's what major league franchises are looking for in managers at this level, someone that can work with these kids day in and day out.
So therefore, you approved of the decision to keep Casey Kopitsky.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Oh, do you have any say in that matter?
No, we do not. That's all the managers and all the players are sent here by the Chicago Cubs.
And so the local team has no say in rosters or coaches or anything?
No. Everything that happens on the field, we have no say in the matter. We only can control what happens off the field in the stands and those types of things. So, you know, when your team is bad, there's nothing we can do about it. When your team is good, it's a luxury. You know, we've always had some good players come through here and they get off to a great start, and then all of a sudden they get promoted, which
Sure.
is good for them, but not good for us.
Who are some of the other coaches?
Our pitching coach is Ron Vallone, who was just assigned to Peoria a week ago. He's had a pretty nice major league career, so it'll be nice to have Ron around. I haven't met Ron before. Our hitting coach is Barbaro Garbe, who was with us a few years ago. Very knowledgeable hitting coach. Again, works well with the younger players. And also these days, many of the major league affiliates like to have a Latin coach on the team because there are so many Latin players now coming on board.
Okay. Are you anticipating anything at this point as far as talent goes?
Not necessarily. We got a roster the other day and it had 36 players on it, and eventually that'll be pared down to 25 that'll come here on April 2nd. But still, that's not an official roster because as the big club makes cuts, those guys go to AAA, so then you start having that trickle-down effect. And there's probably going to be 3 or 4 more cuts at the big league level. So when we look at a roster, we kind of look at AA or triple or Daytona right now because those are a lot of the guys that are going to fall back to us.
Okay. While fielding a winning team and winning championships is always good for the fans as well as attendance, does the parent organization worry so much about that?
They do. They like to win because winning is also part of development.
Okay.
You know, these players are young, and while they're still learning the game, learning how to win, especially in a long season. Many of these guys are just out of high school or just maybe out of college, but have never played this long of a season, this many games. So playing together and learning how to win is really part of development. That was something when we were with the Cardinals they were really big on. And when we won our championship in 2002, we had a lot of great players that probably should have been moved up the ladder. But I remember John Mozeliak saying, hey, we want to teach these guys how to win together and move up together.
At that time, he was director of player development,
That
correct?
is correct with the Cardinals.
Now he's
they're
general manager.
Correct.
Okay. So, but still, the parent club focuses more on player development, correct?
Absolutely. You know, these guys they have come in the draft or they've been signed as free agents. Some of them they have a lot of money in. You know, $1 million, $2 million if they're a high draft pick. So, you know, they're going to play. Just like at the big leagues. If you got money in a guy, they're going to play. So, but they want these guys develop and work their way through the system. Each major league club has a different philosophy. I know from the previous regime in Chicago, there was a urgency to kind of get the guys up to the big leagues as soon as possible. I think the thought is now that, hey, let's take our time with these guys, let them develop. We don't need to push them too quickly, and then when they're ready, we'll take them to the big leagues.
Through the years, some of the great players that have come through Peoria, did you always know that they were going to be great before they arrived here?
Definitely not. I mean, you really don't know. You know, some come with a nice name in a high draft pick, but I mean, you're looking at Albert Pujols that was here in 2000. He was a 13th round pick, but who would have known that he was in Peoria one year and Rookie of the Year the next year? Now he had a great year in Peoria. He was probably the hardest worker I've ever seen as far as a player trying to get better, and it paid off for him. But you know, even a Mark Grace or Greg Maddux and that, yeah, they're good players when they're here, but you never quite know how they're going to pan out.
Okay. When we come back, we'll talk with Rocky about special promotions that are planned for this season. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm with Rocky Vonachen, president of the Peoria Chiefs baseball team. The first home game is April 9th.
Correct.
Is there anything special planned for that night?
Absolutely. One, it's opening day, and opening day for the baseball season is always a great day in itself. But this year is really special. It's the 30th anniversary of baseball in Peoria, and it's also the 10th anniversary of the ballpark. So we got a lot to celebrate. On that day, and we're also playing the Quad City River Bandits, which is the Cardinal affiliate. So we're kind of opening up in style, Cubs, Cardinals, minor league style, and celebrating a couple great anniversaries. And one thing we're doing is rolling back prices to 1983. So it's $350 for a club box seat in the seating bowl, and $250 if you want to sit in the lawn. And we'll do those at that our first 3 games.
Wow.
As well. And then the players will be wearing throwback Peoria Suns jerseys for the first 3 games as well. So, you know, it's a great night to begin with. We're just adding a little more fun to it.
Will those throwback jerseys then be sold later, or?
Later on in the year, we'll put them online and have an auction for those, and we'll designate a charity to give them to.
Now, how many years were they the Suns? Just the one, right?
Just the 1 year.
Okay.
In 1983 and then 1984, we were still a California Angels affiliate, but that's when we switched to the Chiefs. And then in '85, we switched to the Chicago Cubs.
Okay. What other special events are we going to see this season?
You know, again, we're gearing around and planning around our 30th anniversary and 10th anniversary. The 10th anniversary of the ballpark, May 24th, is the actual date we opened in 2002. So we've got fireworks. Okay. We're working on possibly doing a big street fest as well. It's our Thirsty Thursday. The team will be wearing the jerseys from 2002 there as well. But then the next night on the 25th of May, we're going to give away $10,000 to a lucky fan that comes in the door. And then Saturday we got fireworks as well again. So a big weekend plan there. And then also, just all year long, we have our fireworks shows, which are always a big hit with the fans. We have 13 of those. We have several post-game concerts planned, one with the Trippin' Billies in June, our Faith and Family Night with Josh Wilson, and then in July, our Jimmy Buffett Night with the Boat Drunks. And those are always great nights as well. So,
and on Ernie Banks is coming.
That's correct. On June 9th,
Okay.
Ernie Banks is there as the IPMR legend at the ballpark. This is our 10th year for that as well, and there's no one better than Mr. Cub himself and Ernie Banks.
Are you going to play too?
If it's up to Ernie, I'm sure we will.
Also appearing this summer, both on June 22nd, is the Famous Chicken and the Clydesdales?
Exactly. When we looked at this season, we looked at bringing back some of the entertainment acts that we've had in the past years, over the past 10 or 30 years, and the Chicken was always a fan favorite, so we've brought him back. He doesn't do near as many performances as he used to, so it's kind of special to have him back. And then it was just recently that we got with Brewers Distributing and to bring the Budweiser Clydesdales on that night as well.
Okay. Are you going to have the Wednesday hot dog specials that you've done in past seasons?
Absolutely. Wednesday is our dollar day. It's our dollar hot dogs, dollar sodas, and dollar ice cream sandwiches. So it's a fun night, a very inexpensive night for the fans to come out and enjoy some baseball. You
usually get pretty good crowds for those, don't you?
We do. That has continued to grow year after year.
And Thirsty Thursdays, what is that?
Thirsty Thursdays is $2 16-ounce drafts, and then also $2 sodas as well on Thursday nights.
You can't get that
anywhere.
Wow.
So it's a great deal. Minor League Baseball is all about fun, affordable family entertainment. So each night we try and build in some sort of value for the fans. Monday is our half price Monday, where all tickets are half price. Tuesday is our senior night, where seniors 55 and up get $6 tickets. Wednesdays our dollar day, as we talked about. Thursdays is our Thirsty Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday are always our big promotions.
A lot of fireworks this year?
A lot of fireworks. There's 13 fireworks shows. Always on Saturday. We have one on Wednesday, June 6th, the same as a dollar hot dog night, so that should be a big night. We've got one on Tuesday, July 3rd, kind of as our 4th of July celebration as well. So fireworks are always a fun night.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll ask Rocky about the importance of being affiliated with one of the local Major League teams. But first, here is our literary and culinary guy, Kevin Kaiser, to tell us what's happening in his world.
This week, it's a special double segment of Kevin Reads Stuff So You Don't Have To, Deity Edition. The first book is called The Shadow of a Great Rock, a literary appreciation of the King James Bible by literary critic supreme Harold Bloom, who believes the King James Bible to be the summit of literature in English, sharing the honor only with Shakespeare. Reading the book alongside Tyndale's Bible, the Geneva Bible, and the original Hebrew and Greek text, Bloom shows how the translators and editors improved upon earlier versions. But what's interesting to me is how many pieces of what we call classic literature were composed around the turn of the 17th century. You have the King James Bible in 1611, Don Quixote in 1605 and 1615, and Shakespeare's entire body of work from 1589 to 1613. The second book in this special Kevin Reads Stuff So You Don't Have To Deity Edition is a book called Oh My Gods, or as I like to call it, Oh My Gods. Oh My Gods is a modern retelling of Greek and Roman myths written by Philip Freeman. For thousands of years, these myths have inspired plays, operas, paintings, movies, television programs, and the occasional copycat crime. Some of my favorite nuggets from this little book: Pandora's box is actually a mistranslation. It's supposed to be called Pandora's jar, which makes more sense. Evil keeps longer in a jar than in a box. The term panic comes from Pan, the Greek satyr god, who is genial and lecherous but would strike uncontrollable terror in those who offended him, thus panic. Orion actually translates to urine boy. Why? Good question. The king of Thrace once entertained Zeus, Poseidon, and Hermes. The three gods were so pleased with the party, they asked the king to sacrifice a bull and bring them the hide. The gods then took the hide, urinated on it, and buried it. 9 months later, good old Orion popped up out of the ground fresh as a daisy. And then there's Tecate, the protector of horsemen, sailors, and fishermen, whose favorite sacrifices included little cakes with candles, red mullet fish, and fresh young puppies. That's because everyone knows puppies taste best when they're young. Well, that's it for Kevin Reads Stuff So You Don't Have To, Deity Edition. As always, you are welcome.
We're back talking with Rocky Vonachen, president of the Peoria Chiefs, as well as one of Peoria's top ambassadors. Rocky, for all but one of the 30 years that pro baseball's been back, the team's been affiliated with either the Cubs, for all but two, I'm sorry, has been affiliated with either the Chicago Cubs or the St. Louis Cardinals. That has to be important to you and the fans, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we're in a great situation here in Citro, Illinois, because we're right between two major Major League Baseball teams, in the Cubs and the Cardinals, who both have great followings. So for us to have either one is definitely a plus. You know, now we're affiliated with the Cubs, and there's probably a few more Cub fans in town, and Cub fans are very dedicated to their team and following their prospects and who's that next great hope that's going to play at Wrigley Field. So, but either way, it's a benefit for us.
And you said that earlier, you said that the teams do pay attention to how their minor league teams are doing. They want to put them on winning teams because they want them to get used to winning. That's probably really important for the Cub fans, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, they've struggled a little bit winning at the major league level, so if we can win a championship at the minor league level, you know, that's great for all Cub fans too. And they did win in Daytona last year. And we talked about the players moving up, in that we had a great team the first half of the year. The second half of the year, they started taking guys away and sending them to Daytona, and they won a championship with most of the guys that were in Peoria to start the season. So, which is great for the guys.
Sure. Now, when a major league player is sent down to Peoria for a rehab stint, which happens 2 or 3 times a year to recover from an injury, that's a big deal for the Chiefs, right? It always draws a big crowd.
Definitely. You know, it's not very often a lot of the Cubs fans or any major league baseball fan get to see a major leaguer play anytime. So when they have a chance to see him in Peoria, they definitely take advantage of him. We've had some great ones come through here. Nomar Garcia-Parra several years ago when he was with the Cubs. Kerry Wood's been here several times. We've had Ramirez. We've had Soto. We've had Zambrano. We've had Ted Lilly, you know, and you can go on and on. Joe Girardi, when he was with the Cardinals, rehabbed here. Sure. So, you know, the list goes on. And it's just a great location for the guys to come down, get their work in, get healthy again, and then get back to the major leagues.
I remember last year when Zambrano was here, that was one of the games that I made it to, and all around us the fans were like, okay, are we going to see him lose it? Is he going to lose his cool? Can we see into the dugout? That sort of thing. That reputation that a player has, whether it be Zambrano's reputation or if a player has a reputation for doing fancy stuff out in the field, people come for that as well, right?
Oh, definitely.
Not just because of the name.
Right. We got the same thing. You know, people would joke around, hey, do you have your igloo coolers, you know, tied down in the dugout for Zambrano and things like that? But, you know, they're characters of the game, and the fans come out to see them, and they respond to them.
Is there any reason why the Cubs or the major league affiliate, whoever it is, don't play the minor league teams at the minor league teams field? I mean, you'd have fans hanging off the roof.
If we had the Cubs here?
If the Cubs came and played a game.
We would love to have the Cubs here, and that's something we've talked about over the years. And we've gone up there and played one of our games, but you know, we've talked to the Cubs about playing a spring training game here. But the Cubs are an organization that are well known throughout the country, so they get pretty good dollars to go play in Vegas and in other places. So at this point, they've never been open to coming to Peoria and playing. With the new regime up there, maybe we can get that done. It'd be fun to have them.
Yeah. Like I said, you'd have fans hanging off the roof.
Oh, absolutely. I think any major league game. You know, if we had, say, the White Sox in Minnesota or, you know, the White Sox in Tampa, I think fans would come out and see that. So
absolutely. Especially if there was somebody that, you know, they followed closely on the team.
Exactly.
Okay. One of the best things for me about going to a Chiefs game has always been seeing your dad and watching his interaction with the fans, especially the kids. He's always got a baseball to hand the kids. Are we going to see Pete at the stadium a lot this year?
Absolutely. It's, you know, he looks forward to every game and going out and being with the fans. And he probably gets more upset about losing than anyone, but you know, he enjoys most being with the fans. And as you say, handing out baseballs, it's got to the point where I get fathers come up to me and said, you know, so many years ago your father gave me a baseball as a little kid, and he just gave my son one. So that's how long he's been doing it. It's all about taking care of the fan. It's all about quality of life in Central Illinois and making Central Illinois a great place to live. And that's been his mission since day one.
Is there room in your event calendar this year for impromptu events?
Always. There's always room for, that's the fun of minor league baseball. We can do a lot at any given time.
Like a LeBron James ring.
Exactly. Definitely.
Did that go over well last year?
It went over very well. When you can make ESPN and outside the lines,
Sure.
it turns out to be a great event.
So
for nothing.
Will you be looking for little things like that?
Always.
Okay.
You know, that's the fun of, we can be creative and do a lot of fun stuff.
Okay. Remember, you can see this show in its entirety, as well as previous episodes of The Peorian, on our website, thepeorian.com. And tune in next week for another episode of The Peorian, 8 a.m. Sunday on WHOY TV.
Thank you.